Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I am going to do an evening chat with you guys here tonight and just talk about a little bit about what's been going on and what's been going on here for us and talk a little bit about my garden and kind of encourage everybody to continue to keep prepping. And another thing, there's been a lot of crazy stuff that has been going on in the world here in the last week or two that I have been keeping an eye on as usual. Cracked open a bucket of some homemade hard cider to share with you guys here tonight. It's evening time, so we're not going to have coffee or tea. We're going to have some of our homemade stuff here. You have never tasted anything smoother than homemade hard cider with just a little hint of brown sugar. If anybody knows, when you make homemade wine or a homemade hard cider, how can I say this? That the overlords don't frown on it too much. What the yeast creates in your hard cider, that stops at about 19%, because at that level, what the yeast creates kills off the yeast. So without any type of mechanical distillation, 19% is about as strong as you can get anything with just a natural fermented process. And that's about what this is right here. And you can see that is nice and clear. And the reason that is clear like that is because I just leave it set after the fermentation is done. I don't disturb the bucket at all, and then the settlings will come out. They will go down to the bottom, and then whenever I serve it, I'll crack my bucket, barrel, whatever that it is, and I'll just ladle out from the top, and that gives you that nice clear look without any additives. This right here has literally only got 4 ingredients in it. Water, a little bit of yeast, a little bit of brown sugar, and of course apple cider. But anyway, enough about that. I have my garden in. It's not totally in yet because all the tender stuff, I won't plant that till about the middle of May, and then I cover it for at least the first 2 weeks. I have about 50 potato plants already started. 10 of them are in buckets and the other 40 are in hills. Now, how I do potatoes, one potato plant for us basically is one large meal, and that's how I look at it. My goal is typically about 75 potato plants for the first harvest, which is planted at the end of April, and it's typically harvested sometime the middle end of July. Then I wait about 2 weeks. I work the ground up. I add compost and stuff. I plant a second planting, and then that is usually about half. So if I do 75 to 100 hills, I'll do about 50 for my second crop. And the second crop for us here in Michigan, they're generally smaller because you don't have the amount of light that you do in the spring going into summer. So from April to July, you have a lot more light, so the potatoes, of course, get bigger. But from July to November, the light is actually waning, so your days are getting shorter at that point. So then the potatoes don't get as big, and around the 1st of November is when we have our first hard freeze. So that's how you can kind of figure your what you're going to have, what your harvest is going to be. So if you have 100 hills, you have 100 good meals. And when I say a big meal, I'm talking like a Sunday dinner, when the family comes over, because we have, pretty decent ground here. So that's about the size of our potatoes. And then, if you stagger plant, see, I have a certain amount planted, and then I'm going to plant a few more here in about 10 days, 2 weeks. And the buckets are the ones that I did first. So then, they're not all going to be ripe at the same time. And then that gives you an opportunity to have a couple meals of fresh before you decide what you're going to do, if you're going to cold storage or can them or put them up or however you're going to do it. My garlic is up about this much. My garlic looks are really good. That is the third year on that hardneck garlic that I got from the Amish, and I'm still propagating that with fairly decent success. I got my yellow onions in. The yellow onions, I did the little bulb onions this year. I prefer doing the little sets that are a little bit smaller. They kind of look like little sprigs of grass. Those are the ones I actually like. I'm still waiting for some of those in for red onions, but those yellow onions, I literally got them for nothing. So I'm going to give those a try, see how they go. And I also have peas in. Another thing this time of year, the cold weather crops, your potatoes, your garlic, your onions, peas, stuff like radishes, stuff like lettuce. This is the perfect time to plant that stuff. It grows quick. It likes the cooler weather, so then you can have some fresh greens. Strawberries come in pretty quick. We typically will have strawberries here in June. I have 2 different kinds of strawberries. My plants are already up. I did lose a couple, but I have extras that actually came up around my other strawberry bed, so I'm just going to transplant those into my other strawberry bed, so I don't really have to buy any strawberry plants, which is good. And of course the rhubarb is up, so you can about another 2 weeks I can cut fresh rhubarb, and then we can put that into rhubarb crisp or whatever. So rhubarb is really one of the first things that you can harvest, because you don't have to plant it. It comes back year after year. So that is where the garden all stands. I want to encourage people to continue to prep. I have been concerned with this summer coming up here for a lot of different reasons, and now, of course, we have the big fluctuations in the stock market, and that, of course, I look back, pretty much every really serious stock market crash or correction has led into some type of recession. I remember the one in 87. I remember the one in 2000, 2008, and then 2020. There were big swings in the stock market, and then, of course, that leads into recession. Of course, you can't really tell in our area here because people have been, I don't know if they think that there's going to be some type of event taking place, or if it's just fear of the tariffs or whatever, but people have been buying a lot of stuff in our local area here that I have personally noticed, and it's all for the good. People, the things I'm seeing people buying are chainsaws, stuff for their garden, good solid prepping items, and that's always good to see, because I always look at it, every person's got a prepper inside trying to get out. And of course, we have the Pope's funeral coming up this weekend, and a lot of world leaders are going to be attending that. And I was talking with a few other people that I know, both online and in person. I said, wouldn't that be something if something took place during that with all them leaders over there? That is something that's kind of been on my mind that I wanted to mention. And of course, there's always problems with the Middle East, so there's always can be fluctuations with gas prices and stuff. But another thing too is people really need to have a rally point, and a rally point can look different for different people. There needs to be a place in either a family or a group of people or a group of friends or neighbors. If something takes place, everybody needs a place where they can gather if there has been some type of event. Like for us, it's basically just our family. And I basically tell them, hey, you know what, if something happens, everybody comes here. Everybody comes to our place. And the reason I say that, even though our house is extremely small, it's only a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house, just a little small home, but I'm set up here to provide a certain amount of protection and shelter for my family. And I've told all my adult children that they need to come here if something happens. If something doesn't look right to you guys, something took place in the area you guys are at. And none of my adult children live too far from here, but I said, if there's any question in your mind, grab your bag, grab your pack, and just come here, and we'll figure it out from there. And I think every family should have some type of rally point. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention. So I just wanted to encourage everybody this evening to keep on prepping. Keep an eye on your local area. Your local area is the most important thing. I mean, things can be happening on the other side of the world, but your local area is what's going to affect you first and foremost. So you always want to keep an eye on that. There can be major things happening on the other side of the planet, but if your neighborhood, area, location is quiet and boring, that's a good thing for you. That gives you more time to continue to prepare and, analyze what's going on and see what's the best route for you and your crew or your group or your family or your group of neighbors, whatever that may be. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee, having a little after work hard cider with you guys here tonight. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching my videos. And if you guys do have a channel of your own and you're putting content out, I notice this from time to time. I'll have somebody that comments on my videos, and I don't even know that they have a channel and they have content. But if you do have a channel and you do put out content, please go ahead and mention that in the comments of this video here so I can subscribe to your guys' channel as well. Because sometimes I'll be just surfing around and I'll recognize somebody that's been, commenting on my videos, and here they have a channel and they got content and things to add to the prepping community, and I didn't even know that. So then I go ahead and subscribe and try to spend a little time on those people's channel as well, because I think the preparedness community on YouTube is a little bit more close-knit than some of the other genres that are out there. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys always get something out of my videos, and you guys have a good one.